Good morning, everybody. Okay, so clearly I am coming live to you guys this morning from my car. I just dropped Emmeline off and I've got about 10 minutes to jump on here with you guys and talk on Power Pockets today. So I know some of our other trainings the other days have been a little bit longer, but honestly, I feel like this topic I can pretty much sum up in a short and sweet message for you guys today. And so I'm working in a Power Pocket right now. Just dropped Emmeline off at my grandmother's. I'm heading to the office, and so I wanted to come here today and honestly show you what and how this business can be worked in the Power Pockets of your day. And so what better way to do it than to jump on during a Power Pocket from my car. This is real life, guys, and I think a lot of times we do these trainings. Good morning, Angela. We do these trainings, we hop on here, we talk to you guys. It feels like we're in this perfect little office with this perfect little background, and the reality is that 90% of the time, that's not what this business looks like. Hi, Michelle. I can't wait to see you soon at the She Works His Way conference. So that's not what our businesses necessarily look like. That's not where 99% of my business that I'm working throughout the day happens. It happens in my car, you know, in between meetings. Hate to say it, but messaging people back from, you know, the bathroom. I won't go any farther than that. But you guys get it. Like, it's those little nuggets of time that you have throughout the day. So that's why I wanted to take today and just jump on here during one of my Power Pockets to be able to really dive into this topic. So do me a quick favor. If you are watching live, please say hello. Drop your favorite emoji for me, something. I love to see who all is on here and who's joining, especially from the cell phone. It's a little bit more difficult to see who exactly is joining us, so I love to be able to see you guys. Just say hello, and I will dive into this topic this morning. And if you're watching the live recording, just let me know by dropping a 1, just so I can kind of see that everybody got it and that you were able to hop on here today. So let's dive in. First off, what is a Power Pocket? A Power Pocket is essentially your power hour, which, by the way, if you are not working a power hour every single day, every single topic that Michelle and Liz and Caren and Patrice talk on is honestly pretty worthless. So if you are not showing up and spending an hour a day on your business, the things that we have to bring to the table are not going to really help you, because if you're not putting them into action every single day during that hour of time that you set aside for your business, it's not going to move the needle. And so here's the deal. Let me tell you guys a little bit about what a Power Pocket is and what it looks like in my business. So a Power Pocket is essentially breaking down your power hour. That's all it is. It's nothing crazy. It's literally, you know, for some people, different seasons bring different things. For some people, if you're in a season of life where you're single and you're able to literally sit down for an hour or maybe even 2 hours and, you know, turn on the airplane mode on your phone and get really focused, that's amazing to get all the things done in your business. But for others who are maybe in a season of life where you've got young kids, or maybe you're like me and you've got a young child, but you've also, you know, got a full-time job, you may have to work your business in Power Pockets. And so that's why I'm really passionate about this topic in particular, is because a lot of trainings I heard as a new coach were all about the power hour. And for me, it was really difficult for me to find that hour in a day that I could literally devote specifically just to my business and turn it on airplane mode and just get really like hyper focused. And it was a little bit easier when I didn't have kids. Yes, I was working full time, but I could get up early, I could work out, I could get that power hour in. But now, as a busy mom as well, that time is a little bit more sacred. And I think it's really important that, especially as a working mom, that you have boundaries in your life, that you have set aside time that is just for your kids. I think it's really important. You know, so let me tell you guys a little bit about my schedule and kind of how I make these Power Pockets happen. I feel like I'm chasing rabbits here, so I'm sorry. I hope this is all making sense. So my first point here, and I'll dive into my personal schedule. My first point here is you've got to own your mornings. You got to own your mornings. If you are a busy working mom, if you're a mom, period, I don't care if you're working this business during nap time, you got to own the morning. You have got to set your alarm for earlier. And I've heard people throw around the book, A Miracle Morning. I've never read it, to be honest, but here's what I know. I know that when I set my alarm for 5:15 or 5:30 and I get up and I spend intimate time with Jesus, my day is so much better. I get that 30 minutes in with him. And to some of you guys, you might like, 30 minutes, that's a long time. But for me, like, I just know that, like, if I say 15 minutes, it's going to turn into 30. So I don't even set a time limit. I just honestly do my Bible study and, you know, then I finish up. So it's typically around 6:15 when I get done. By the time I'm like, wake up, get my coffee, get out there, do it. 6:15 when I'm done. And typically what I do then is spend about 30 minutes on my business. So that is where Power Pocket number 1 happens. Now, I'm in a little bit of a different schedule right now, and I'll explain that in a second. But that's where Power Pocket number 1 happens. So when I know at 6:15 that Emmeline is probably going to get up around 6:45 or 7, if I'm lucky it's 7, then I set a timer on my phone, and I literally just set the timer, and I actually have this past week been using the Power Hour sheet that Caren shared. So if you didn't download that, go ahead and download it and print it off. I print off like 7 of them for the beginning of the week, and then I just work through that Power Hour sheet. That's what I do every single day. And so for that 30 minutes, I'm kind of checking in with my challengers, you know, making sure all my posts went up that I had scheduled, posting my sweaty selfie, I'm posting on social media, I'm kind of doing those things in my business, okay? And then when she wakes up, it's like mommy and me time, right? Like, I hate that feeling of her being up and I'm trying to make her breakfast and I'm on my phone and I'm trying to post on social media and like already feeling scattered. So I really try to get up, eat the frog, so to speak, and get the stuff done that I need to get done ASAP. So that way, when she wakes up and I'm making her breakfast and I'm talking to Brian and making him his breakfast, I can really be intentional with them. I'm not scattered trying to think about, oh, I need to post on social media. Oh, I need to do this, you know? So try to get up and get those that 30-minute first Power Hour in. And then our day it's started, right? 7:30 I typically do my workout. Again, schedule's a little different right now with this new program and doing it with my husband, but this is just my typical schedule. 7:30, get my workout in. Emmeline comes along with me. I'm a firm believer in anything that you can do with your kids, like a workout or something like that. They can join in. That's fun for them, like it is. Get those things done when they're awake, and then the things that you know you cannot do with them, do those things during your hustle, during your nap time hustle. And so that's typically what we do. We finish up about 8 a.m. and then we just start getting ready for the day, get dressed, get her dressed, make our lunches, pack them, whatever, and then we're out the door. And so then if I'm at the office that day, my job is a little bit different than some. It's a little bit all over the place. Like some days I work from home, some days I'm in the office. But I have a 30-minute commute when, yes, I love working out with my kids too, or my daughter. I have a 30-minute commute into my office. And so that's when I listen to personal development. That's when I take calls with coaches. So if I have a potential coach who wants to talk, I'm like, hey, can you talk at 8:30 or whatever time it is I'm heading home that day? Or can I text you when I'm about to head home? Or maybe can I text you in between meetings and see if you're available? So I really try to utilize my drive time. Now, sometimes I might be on a call for my other job during drive times, but I really try to utilize that time to listen to a podcast or listen to an audiobook or, you know, get my personal development done. And so that's when I go back to my computer after all that's said and done. I can plug in on my sheet of paper, my Power Hour sheet of paper, I can plug in the information. Okay, what did I learn during my Power Hour? You know, who did I talk to today? Who did I connect with? So I try to really get on the phone with people then. As far as messaging and DMs go, I do all of my messaging on Instagram and my DMs and that kind of thing, honestly, just in my car in between meetings, or maybe if, you know, I'm about to head back home from work, I'll get in my car and maybe sit there for 15 minutes and just message everybody back and then head home. That way that when I get home, it's done. Again, that's about protecting your time with your family. I just don't want Emmeline to always see me on my phone. And so I really try to get it done before I even pick her up. And so trying to just work those things into those power pockets. And that's really what power pockets are. They're just little nuggets of time throughout your day that you're able to work your business if you added it all up, it would equal a power hour, but it's maybe you just aren't in a season of life where you can give that full hour or two or whatever. And so that's the funny thing with how people always ask me, how do you work your business and work a full-time job? And I'm like, it's because I work in power pockets. Again, if you sit at a desk all day and you're not driving here and too, you can listen to your personal development as you're typing things out on the computer. I mean, I know in the office where I work, everyone's always has headphones in their ears. So you can jump on calls and listen to them on your phone. Just pop it up, listen. You don't have to even be looking at it, be doing your stuff, but you can still be listening. So these are ways that you work your business during those little power pockets. Take your lunch break, grab your lunch, go to your car, do a Zoom call with one of your coaches. Like if they're a stay-at-home mom and that's the best time for them to do it then. You know, like protect your time, find those nuggets of time. Think about the time you waste. I'm going to tell you right now, and it's just me being me. I'm sorry if I'm going to step on anybody's toes. But if you are a mom and you're working this business and you have a full-time job, there are things you're going to have to sacrifice. For right now in this season of life, you are building a business. And you've got to stop thinking of this business as a hobby. You've got to stop thinking it as something you just kind of do for fun. If you really want to build a business, you've got to put in the hustle and the hard work. And I've talked to a lot of entrepreneurs who've gone through seasons of business building, and that's what you're in right now. You're in a season of building your business, and it's going to take extra time, right? Like you make less money for the amount of time that you're putting in, but it's going to take more work, and there's going to be things that you have to sacrifice. We don't want to sacrifice our family, right? We don't want to sacrifice our walk with Jesus. So what are we going to have to sacrifice? TV, Netflix, movies, I don't know, like other things that take up your time. Maybe it's a hobby that it's just not really necessary right now and it just needs to be put on pause. Like recognize those things in your life. For me, that's just TV and things like that. Like that's stuff that like I can do without, you know. And I used to love watching TV, and it was like giving up all my shows, but then when I let them go, like I don't miss them anymore, right? And now my time is protected because at night when I get home from work, 5 to 7:30 is Emmeline time, right? Like 5:30 to 7:30. I literally have an app called Moments on my phone that goes off if I try to get on my phone during that time. Like it's an alarm and it's like, get off your phone, Caroline. You've got to set those boundaries in your business. And then when Emmeline goes down, Brian and I have kind of just a set agreement that Monday nights are the nights I work on my business, and then Wednesday nights are the night I work on my business. So Tuesday nights we have small group, and then Thursday nights are kind of like our in-home date night during the week that we hang out. And you've got to communicate with your spouse and set those times, because then on Monday nights or Wednesday nights, I can really go all in on my business and get a lot of things done. Those are the nights that I do team calls. Those are the nights that I do, you know, look into coachings, those sorts of things. So set boundaries. Another thing that I do is I use Acutely. I think that's how you say it. It's a scheduling app. I put my schedule in there on Fridays, hopefully. Sometimes it's like Saturday or Sunday. And then I send it out to my team or any challengers who want to have a one-on-one. That way they can look at my schedule. Since my schedule is a little different each week, I'll kind of look at my meetings I have planned for work and say, oh, I'll probably have a power hour there. I'll probably have a power hour there. And then I'll put that into my schedule, and that allows them to sign up for a time to talk to me. I do have set times that I talk to my runners and my new coaches. So we have a set call time each week. It's during lunchtime. So I just go out to my car if I'm at the office, or, you know, take it on the car, or if I'm working from home, just hop on Zoom. So I have kind of those set times, and that's something that I really recommend you guys doing, is just having set call times, protecting your time during this busy season of life. You might need to group new coaches together and say, hey, we're gonna have to do a kind of a team new coach call, because I'm in a season of life where it's difficult for me to hop on 10 different calls throughout the week. And you've really got to protect your time, especially if you want to build a business during nap time, or you know, if you have a full-time job, etc. So I guess those are really my points, guys. So number 1 was owning your morning, and making sure that you are getting up, that you're eating the frog, that you're getting the things done. Number 2 was really looking for those little pockets of time throughout your day. And hopefully I broke down some ideas for you guys. doing your personal development in the car, taking calls with coaches in the car, getting little amounts of time throughout the day in. This doesn't have to be complicated, y'all. And I think a lot of times we just really overcomplicate it in our head, and it really doesn't have to be, right? It's really about using your time wisely. Pray that the Lord would give you different discipline. Pray that He would just give you wisdom and how to manage your time for His glory and His fame. And that's my last point is number 3, when we talk about power pockets, ask God every single day that He would multiply your efforts and multiply your results. That's my prayer. God, you know that I'm a limited person, but I believe that you can do more with my 2 hours than I can with my 2 hours. Or I believe that you can do more with this 30 minutes and this 15 minutes and this 5 minutes than I can. So would you take it, Lord? I surrender that time to you, and I pray that you would just use it for your glory and your fame. Help me to reach the women I'm supposed to reach, and help me to be wise with how I love and serve them. Make that your prayer, make that your heart's desire, and I promise you, you're going to start to see the results. I have seen this firsthand this year. My business, income-wise, size-wise, everything in between has tripled.